If you've ever dreamed about a mall with endless escalators, rows of broken toilets, or an amusement park that feels AI generated, you're not alone. In October of 2025, an artist named Jessica Tilton posted a map of her recurring dream to TikTok. 2 million views later, thousands of people were saying the same thing. I recognize this place. I've been there in my dreams too. The New York Times covered it and Forbes wrote about it, but this story actually starts 9 years earlier on an obscure paranormal forum with one simple question. Anyone frequent mallworld in their dreams?
A couple months ago, I started looking up my dreams on the internet. In particular, I was having these amusement park, water park dreams. So I looked up amusement park, water park dreams Reddit, as all people do when they want to find something specific on Google. And I find this community on Reddit called the mallworld. And finding the mallworld has literally changed my life because there's 20,000 people having the same exact dreams as mine.
Fairy Witch Mermaid posted this in February of 2025. Right now, in January 2026, the mallworld is getting over 9,000 visitors each week. So what is mallworld? And how did thousands of people discover they've been dreaming about the same impossible place? Let's start with the map that triggered the widespread conversation.
But we'll start at the mall that's attached to like a hospital and a school and a parking garage. There's also the airport attached to the mall. And then back behind the mall, you have the amusement park, water parks, and like the literal ocean. There's infinite toilets. Anytime you have to use the restroom, it's like they're broken and they're all connected together.
Each person's mall world is different. Different layouts, different landmarks, but the themes repeat.
You guys, I am a mall world girl.
So this is my experience at Mall World.
This one is my personal favorite, but I don't come here as much as I did when I was a kid, but this is the kid area. This is downstairs, so there's this escalator that leads downstairs.
I've also seen the gross bathrooms that go on forever. Mostly for me, they're usually locker rooms, but there is a section of just endless toilets. What the hell is that about? Like, even if it's like some people are saying these Jungian archetypes, it's weird. It's weird. The abandoned amusement park carnival. To me, it's always mostly empty. Maybe one or two other people there hanging out, and it's like at the edge of the city by the ocean.
I have had vivid dreams every night for as long as I can remember. And I thought the world that I go to was just me, but this girl is describing and drawing it out exactly the way I experience it. One piece that is really common, it seems like, to know if you have been to Mall World is if in your dreams you have been to a mall that is also an airport. So you will be in the mall in your dream, you go down maybe like an escalator or a hallway, and then all of a sudden you're in TSA.
The Sunset Archive Substack does a great job laying out the timeline, so I'm going to reference that. In 2016, on a paranormal forum called Godlike Productions, an anonymous user from Canada posted a thread. They described a surreal dream mall, and the thread exploded. 50 pages, over 1,500 replies from people around the world saying that they have also been there. In 2019, the conversation jumped to 4chan's paranormal board. Users described endless stores, escalators that defy physics, adjoining worlds like Library World, University World, Pool World. It even linked back to the original forum on GLP. Then, in 2021, the Mall World was created on Reddit, a dedicated community for people to share their maps, their experiences, and their theories. Dreamcore is an aesthetic that emerged around 2018 on 4chan, Tumblr, and then TikTok. Low-fidelity edits, compositions that felt like memories you couldn't quite place.
Places you feel like you have been to.
Not horror, but something softer. Mall World wasn't viral yet, but the visual language was ready. The internet had learned how to describe their dreams.
Froze in their tracks. I can't find the exit. I can't find it.
No, because I don't know what just showed up on my For You page at 9:20 in the morning when I didn't sleep last night. I'm a local. This is the Crystal Mall in Waterford, Connecticut. I've been going to this mall since the 90s in this mall, and I frequent it constantly as a child. My adoptive father did the plumbing for this mall. Almost every first date I had in high school was at the Crystal Mall. Since childhood, I have had extremely lucid dreams of this mall. Like, I can map the whole fucking thing for you. And anytime I tell one of my local friends, like, oh yeah, I have these lucid dreams of the Crystal Mall, before I even get to the mapping of the dream, which I'm gonna get to in this video because this is absurd, every single friend has cut me off and been like, oh yeah, the Crystal Mall dream, and laid out the map and laid out the scenario before I finish saying what I need to. And locals, nutmeggers, chime in because I want to know if you guys have this too.
By February of 2025, the subreddit was growing. People were still having those life-changing discovery moments.
There's all these apartment buildings, there's a whole town center, and we want to talk about how dreams are our subconscious, but I don't think I can create a whole entire city inside my head.
Communities like the Dreamers Club were publishing comprehensive guides to Mall World. In October of 2025, Jessica Tilton, a 32-year-old artist from Texas, draws a detailed map of her recurring dream and posts it to TikTok.
I dream of Mall World every night, and I made a map. Let me show you guys.
Over 2 million views and 12,000 comments later, the conversation was reaching mainstream. 4 days after Tilton posted her map, another TikToker and Mall World dreamer posted a survey.
So we had almost 300 people enter our survey about Mall World. This is a shared dream experience that so many of us are having. We didn't know about it. I am not like a professional. I'm not a spokesperson of this place. I'm literally just a curious girl who was like, okay, well, why are we all having this dream? It's weird. There's people in my own life who have never had this dream. The greater percentage said that it feels like the same place, like returning to the same place. And then a small-ish percentage said that it's sometimes continuous, sometimes it feels like a one-off experience. Biggest majority of people who dream of Mall World have either done it for most of their life or a number of years. Biggest place that everyone has visited is obviously the mall. The second biggest was the infinite toilets, and then the school. Majority said that the dreams are usually anxious or frightening in nature. But then 29% of people said that it's just neutral or mundane. Okay, the biggest majority thinks that Mall World is a collective dream experience that we're all having together.
On October 16th, the New York Times published an article titled, "Are You Dreaming of Mall World? You're Not Alone." Forbes called malls the cathedrals of commerce, and they asked, what does it mean that we're all haunted by the same dead temples? Fast Company covered the phenomenon as well in November.
I'm a psychotherapist based in Jungian psychology, and I'm finally ready to talk about the mall world. So from a Jungian perspective, we share symbols in our consciousness, in our subconscious. And he called that the collective unconscious, common symbols that are seen across multiple contexts, cultures that would have had no exposure to each other, that have these same archetypes, these same symbols that all of their myths and stories are built on. So I think that Mall World is more of a collective unconscious image versus like an actual place.
Another theory is that people who were in the GATE program growing up also have a tendency to have these Mall World dreams.
This is the first step along your path to a gateway.
Hey, I wanted to talk about this weird phenomenon that's happening online right now, and it's being talked about in places like Reddit and TikTok. That's weird, but on top of all that, some of these people have connected going to Mall World to the GATE program, which was short for the Gifted and Talented Education Program. Basically, it was a thing in schools back, I don't know, in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, where certain students were taken out of class and put through different tests and that kind of thing. It was run by the government, and some people think it was a way to find these special people that could do special things, like maybe access an alternate reality or access places where normal people couldn't go.
The last theory we'll mention is the scientific explanation coming from a researcher at Johns Hopkins University. His theory, social contagion. If somebody says, I had this dream about a mall, and then it's now in the discourse, people might be picking up on that. Then it gets incorporated into their dreams. Dr. Dylan Selterman told the New York Times, sometimes people dream about weird stuff. Regardless as to why this phenomenon is happening, we believe the practice of dream sharing has value in and of itself. Research shows that when people share their dreams, empathy is increased. Do dreams exist to bring us closer together? As dream science continues to try to explain these mysteries of the night, labs are working on demonstrating real-time two-way communication with lucid dreamers. During COVID, researchers studied how groups of strangers dreamed about shared concerns. Maybe that's what mallworld is, not a literal shared space, but a shared symbolic field. Thousands of people dreaming the same anxieties, the same nostalgia, the same liminal dread, and finding each other online. Dreams are one of the last frontiers, a space we all visit but rarely talk about. A third of our lives spent somewhere we barely understand. Mallworld cracked something open. It gave thousands of people permission to say, I have weird dreams. Do you? It turns out a lot of us do. Whether Mallworld is a collective unconscious, a social contagion, or something science hasn't yet named, the conversation it started is real. The community is real, and the value of exploring our dreams together is also real. And maybe that's the point. See you in our dreams.